Hello, me diary. I was doing my spiritual bath and I was ranting and raving, and I was like, nope, nope, I need to go on the video. I need to get out. I need it. Like, so, what is success to me? That's what we're talking about today. If I do not define the perimeters of what I want my container to be, I won't know when I've already established it. So, all the energy I've been pouring into getting in alignment with time. I did manage to get up at 8 today, working my way up to that 6:15, actually get up and move like I was at first. A lot of things have changed since then. Like at the time when I was doing that and thriving, we weren't in the throes of having to worry about eviction. And I believe that that triggered a root wound, and then it just made everything slow. And I've been trying to push through it, constantly reminding myself it is not what it looks like right now. It's what it could be, and you were getting preparation in advance. Last time we got evicted, I didn't know that shit was coming. So this is lovely. As you can see, skin on 10. So looking and feeling healthy, not even just beautiful, rested, even though I'm gonna rub this down, and I did not properly rest myself. I didn't go to bed till 1 something last night, but I couldn't stop thinking. So I am going to be getting melatonin so I can counteract the fact that my mind just tries to keep me up at cruel times when I want to wake up in the morning and do things. I know myself is fighting for time alone, but lately I've been actually blessed to have a lot of time in the house by myself, including right now when I'm able to talk about whenever I want to, because I am vitally alone. So I am drying my hair naturally so I can go in there with a flat iron afterwards and give it the wavy look I like. But I want to keep my hairline because, like, that's my look, that's my thing. I finally got to see myself in the energy I believe I'm supposed to embody when I was on birthday vacation in Nobu. Like when I took showers and I let my hair dry and I just saw myself in the mirror and stuff. And this is like at the end of the night when my hair is all dried and I went to go use the bathroom. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, holy crap, I'm kind of hot. But I didn't usually like genuinely feel that way about me. I felt hot. I felt healthy. I felt taken care of. My skin was beautiful. I've made a lot of strides in coming out of survivor mode and becoming a better version of myself and not falling into the traps that I used to set for myself, or the victimization that used to set traps for me, or cutting corners and not doing things the right way, or even the hustler mentality. A lot of things I learned from my mother as a single mother growing up. Uh, my feet used to be horrible. My hair used to be matted. So head and soul are moving together. So my idea is first and foremost of success is looking and feeling healthy inside and out. I do so many healing videos, but if I had a rap name, it would be Lil Reiki. Like at this point, and it's all building onto the same thing. And I feel amazing when I don't do it. I feel like, right? I can tell the difference. And when I have too much of somebody else's energy on me, and when I am in my own groove. Success to me, what is it going to be going forward? And I probably should write this with it. Write this as I'm doing it. It would definitely be a life where I didn't require this. So a life without the need for hallucinogens to cope. That's my idea of success. Only occasional chemical delulu. Like social drink, because I don't like the idea that I got to do this every day. So this weekend, I am absolutely getting the gummies and the CMOS gel. So that can start working on that part. I'm so successful. I'm so successful. I have to go listen to that after that and get my clothes on for the day and get ready because I got stuff to do. I got to go pick up groceries. Got to go to the magic store. Then I got to come back here and do videos. Later on, I'm having steak and asparagus. I don't know. Suddenly, I just wanted salami and goat cheese. I'm a charcuterie girl. So I'm going to say stability. What do I mean by stability? I know my income will always be enough for what I need. That's my idea of stability. Bullet point. Next bullet point. I always have a roof over my head. I know I look funny smoking because I'm not even supposed to be doing it. I'm smoking like one drug, please. Like that's my total energy there. And this was my video diary for me, but I guess I got used to talking to people like this, so it's just the tone I'm in. Or do y'all need to see one of my personal videos to understand? I'm a little bit more raw in this. I don't even know what I said so far, but I don't think I said that crazy. I'll share it, okay. But I still need to keep my video diary in mind. Okay, I'm So Successful is the song I've been listening to like the most on my morning playlist anyway. Like that's what I want in here. I'm so successful. And girl, you too. It can't just be me. I can't win alone. That's why I do this job. I don't like the idea of winning alone. So let me see. While I'm at this. Now, every time y'all see somebody smoke, y'all are going to think, one drug, please. So, this diary that I was doing, I do my video diaries when my head is full of clutter because I don't want what I'm feeling and what I'm dealing with to overflow into my readings and like contaminate and then it not resonate. Somebody like, girl, what did you give me? You off today. I ain't never had that happen and I don't plan on having it happen. So, what is the root of the smoking? I am a perfectionist. I did not realize this when I was in survival mode because there are so many parts of myself that I had to put aside just to cope or for the team or self-sacrifice, right? So if everybody couldn't do it, I need to focus on what it was just causing to happen to Aisha, right? So I started smoking. Like, fuck it. You can't beat them, join them. But it's not my habit. I don't like it. I have to take my Ricola, even though I love Ricolas. I have to take them all the time, like consistently, so my throat doesn't feel any type of way. That's not me. That's not what I want. I would like to actually dismantle the bomb in me that is causing this, which is why I'm doing this video today. I was about to go start my videos, but I was like, I can't. I need to figure out what I'm working towards. If you don't know what you're doing, you go in circles, and that's hustling backwards. I can't keep hustling backwards. I'm 40. We can't afford this now. Still lit. Okay, so let me move this here. Got to take the ashtrays off or it gets all confusing, right? Teachable moment. I was saying I don't like to leave people behind. It is not enough for me to know all the answers and then take that shit and run off and then watch everybody else like, ha, 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 right? That's a shitty leader. I believe that if you have information that can help other people, boom, it is what it is, baby. You are put into a position of leadership because you have some information that other people can follow to also start whatever they're meant to be starting. And oh my God, it's so crazy, right? Because I can see my arm, like y'all see it right here, but I've lost over, I'm going to say like 150 pounds, right? And I can see like where the skin is separate from like where my arm is. I'm excited because it's proof that something is coming together, right? Like everything falling off the bone, right? But also I'm like, what? I was a whole nother person. Like me was buried underneath the persona or the personality or the baggage of all that stuff I was just telling y'all kept me from stepping into the energy I was supposed to be in. I was not looking out for myself. I was looking out for the team. And instead of smoking at that time, I was eating. I was 455 pounds by the time I got to the point where it was like, enough is enough. Every day, there's going to be a task on your list. You don't start playing Mario and expect that Mario is just going to walk through a round without any challenges or having to jump to get the money or jump over the pit to get to the end of the flag thing where he's going off into the castle for the next level. Okay, so these charts are actually like the board game I've been explaining. Your sun, your sun is where your character is. The ascendant is both the starting and the finish line, right? You see where my sun is? 4 degrees from the finish line. I have been waiting at the finish line for thousands of years. Like just waving down. It was a particular guy was waving down, like, just come this way. We can go to heaven together. There's nothing to be scared of. God doesn't judge you. Just come on. It doesn't matter what you did on earth while you were wilding. And he'd be like, hold on. And then he'd go back in. He's just addicted to earth. And I had to accept that in this lifetime when he didn't pop up like he was supposed to. So I'm gonna imagine the system is sending in somebody else. But there have been times where I did just run off to the cabin. I refer to my cave all the time. When I don't want to deal with people no more and it gets overwhelming, because it always gets to a point in every life, because I'm typically famous, even if I'm not in my own body, uh, because sometimes I am not in this plane, but I fill in when somebody else is tapped out. And that happened for a really long time, that I was just hopping through other people's bodies. But as soon as I get in there, the energy changes for them and fame comes. Whatever my gift is at that time, people want my energy all the time and it gets overwhelming. So a lot of times I run off like Elsa into a place where nobody knows where I am. But what happens because of that karmically that keeps me here? Everybody that was supposed to benefit from my light or that I was supposed to share it with and didn't get that, it like comes back as a weight, a debt. I didn't do my thing. I ran away from duty. There was even one lifetime where we were a bunch of witches together and I sort of got the message that they were coming to fuck us up, but I was working with the entity at that time. That was a whole nother, y'all, this was back like, I don't even think this is like written in the history books, this time period. But when the entity was like, you don't have enough time, they're already on the way. I didn't get to warn anybody. I tried to send out a telepathic signal, but it's not the same as what it's becoming now. We were still like just getting back from being disabled with that gift in these human bodies. So I left, but it turns out that the entity tricked me. I would have had enough time to tell my girls we could get out. So I'm way out in the woods in a shack in the middle of nowhere. I saved myself, but what happened to all my bitches? That haunts me to this day. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I feel like I'm in a ripple that's connected to that. In the very first lifetime that I was called like a witch or I was a problem or anything, because historically I was the first witch ever burned. It's not in your history books because that's how like bad they deemed my name and how like don't put any power in her name no matter what you do. Don't mention it, don't say it, don't speak it. Like that's the storyline that we're on right now. This is absolutely about our witch history. So if you're into past life regressions, definitely get into those. I don't want to be at the finish line by myself. It would be nice if it would go back to the way it was when we first came into here. All the artists, all the singers, all the writers, we were in a place together like a colony. That was beautiful. And we made music and we grew things and we had a blast. It was very much unicorn life. It has not been like that for a very long time. So moving towards that stability. Back in my zone now. And I had to tell y'all that since I realized this video was going to be used because somebody else needs to know how to define their success so that they can remember what they're moving towards. I'm getting the energy of other people like me have been wasting money, time, energy on things that have nothing to do with what you're actually trying to cultivate. I be homeless all the time. Like not necessarily homeless. I always have a roof over my head, but it's not my address. My name isn't on it. I still move like a ghost because of all those lifetimes that I avoided coming back in my own body because I didn't want to have to deal with that, the burning or the fame. And I could tell I'm lining up with it again, and I have to deal with that because I just felt like Anxiety hit my chest and I needed to go like, but certain songs make their way into my algorithm when I'm moving towards music. I know this because 3 years ago I was really gung ho about it. And then a bunch of stuff happened spiritually, and I was like, I'm not going into music. I found out a lot of shit. I was like, I guess I don't get to sing this life. But every time I do it, I end up like Britney Spears, but not like that. But the song Lucky. Yesterday it came into my rotation. There's no reason for it to have made it in there. And I was like, shit, you magnetize what you were drawing towards yourself. So not only was it Britney Spears Lucky, but there was another Chris Brown song that really was like, and when it came in my rotation, I was like, damn, it's almost showtime again, Aisha. But it's Lucky Me. And it's just like, I got it, but that's not actually the part I wanted. It's overwhelming because so many people want to be in your energy or need what you have. I even did a post this morning just letting people know, hey, I love that y'all come back and tell me how my stuff came true or how I was able to help you or what happened with the situation. But the amount of people now that I have hundreds of customers and like 70,000 followers, it takes so much time out of my day, just me trying not to be a douche. Like, I don't want to just leave you on red and be like, oh, nice, or just hit a heart. I want to be able to interact. But I'm like, hold on, baby. How much of that can you do and still give to the people who paid you? Like, I'm constantly behind on my readings. I'm like, where's my energy going? I'm here every day. All I do is work. I don't have a social life. I don't have friends. I am a grinder. It's because I didn't have boundaries. And that's the same thing that happens every time that makes me hate when I step into my full power. So, me defining success right now is so I can eliminate this feeling in my chest that is blocking me from wanting to be seen. I love how this comes together. I need to get over my fear of being seen. Also, while my son is in 12. So, stability is, I know my income will always be enough for what I need. I have great money management skills. I am thriving. Okay. Success. I wake up with joy in my heart every day. Let me tell you how real that is, okay? So I went to LA. I went to LA because it was like I didn't understand my gifts was what I was being told to go to LA. Not at all. As a matter of fact, another person mentioned it to me, and I was just like, sounds like a great idea. Let's do this. Right? Slowly, over time, the drug of LA did something to my soul. Like sometimes we would park by the ocean and sleep in the car. But I would wake up at 6 in the morning just to look over that cliff and watch the surfers who also woke up at that insane hour just so they could surf and watch the sun come up. I remember when it was time to go to sleep at night on full moon nights, we would sleep across from the Getty, which is probably something I should be like, what was my soul doing up in there? But watching the way that the moon pulled the tides and then how it was just like completely gone and almost like the ocean had never even touched those areas once the moon moved across the sky. I woke up every day in LA with joy and I was living in a van. But that just goes to tell you that joy is something that's internal. It has nothing to do with your external circumstances. It's something that can be carried along. And I did. Like that joy that was in there from LA, even going through the stuff I've been going through here, still there. I wake up like, I went to LA. That might not be the thought in my head, but I'm just a little black girl from Baltimore. I never thought that I was going to get to the West Coast. That was a big thing. Like the first time I got to Florida, I was like, made it through. Like that's how boxed and contained my childhood had made my thought process. I did not think there was a life for me outside of Maryland or that was possible. That's not what the storyline was for my family or myself. Uh, so carrying a big torch. I'm so successful. Hmm. After a lifetime of not having stability, stability seems like the thing that I'm defining most of my success by. And waking up every day and just walking in my purpose daily, not solving chaos. I want to build every day. I don't want to have to solve a new problem every day. And that used to be my existence. Now I'm getting through a test phase where it's me trying not to dip off on a group of people when I realize, holy shit, energetically, this is a clusterfuck. If I was by myself, I could soar. I'm very lucky, and I didn't know this whole time that I was lucky or blessed. And the reason why everything was going wrong or so chaotic was because I had too many people in my stuff and I didn't know how to handle my energy. I was always saved by the skin of my teeth, but I thought it was just like, you know what I mean? God's grace the whole time. I didn't know that like God's grace was always over me. And not only do I have that, I have the gift to bless other people with that as well, which is why I be feeling bad when I think about leaving a group of people that are going through a hard time. I don't want to be Rick. And when my energy gets depleted around other people, I start feeling like me. So, working on myself, my ego, stripping that away and focusing on my heart. What does God want from me? Are you asking me to do something in this situation? Are you telling me to take my hands off it? What do you want me to do? I was upstairs doing my spiritual bath before this, and that's sort of what I was going with it. And then I pretty much heard that it's not my issue. Like I offered what I could offer, and it is up to other people to utilize that information or take the grace that God has given them or the things that He's helping them with behind the scenes and doing the right thing. A lot of people keep doing the wrong thing, but come back to God and ask for help to fix it over and over again, which is why this one is going to be like, I'm putting a star next to that for what is successful for me, not taking God's grace or my luck for granted. I want to walk in my purpose daily. I don't want to have to solve problems. I want to be doing things so much on the up and up. The setbacks only occur every now and then. My mindset before was that problems happen all the time. I used to say constantly, always something. It's always something. I'm not surprised. This is just my life. Just speaking curses over myself, fucking myself over. I even used to say that all the time. Like, damn, I am fucked, and I was. I can't stop thinking that. Like, oh my gosh, I was so. So now I'm in situations where I can still see the fucking happening around me, but I have been gifted for all the hard work of digging through my bad habits, my shadows, my victimization, my. I've been gifted a bubble of peace despite my circumstances. So if I had already had a successful list, I could check off peace beyond understanding. I'm gonna write it anyway. Peace beyond understanding. Because I notice sometimes I'll be chilling when stuff is like the house is on fire. And I'm just like, and I feel people mad at me, like, because I'm not freaking out. I'm not like my reaction ain't. I'm being still so I can hear. I didn't notice what I was doing, but I'm being still so I can. What's the point in me making a move in the wrong direction because everything's on fire? If I sit here for a second, I might remember, oh, hold on, there's a hatch over here that we never used because it's creepy, and we could just flip it up and go out the basement because the rest of the house is on fire. Just metaphorically speaking. You can't think right in chaos. And when you're in chaos, don't base you grounding yourself on anything of you. No. Think about the fact that like a piece of sperm in an egg, like a piece of goo in a microscopic thing, came together when your parents were rubbing together and made you a whole human that is able to do the same thing. There is something bigger, baby. No matter what you believe, science, nothing at all, you exist. You came through a vagina. Like that should still you. There is something else going on here. Because allowing is the thing that initiates. It's what starts your spiral that gets you out. It's just allowing. Okay. So how do I start teaching when I'm supposed to be there? And I do this all the time. But that is the reason why people be like, I just want to be around you. Like, you help me solve all my problems. And I'll be like, I was just chilling and I won't shut the fuck up. This wasn't me trying to be a counselor or nothing. Like, even before I got this job, that was sort of me. If you come into any house I'm in, most people migrate towards my room. It does not matter which room I'm in. All things I did not realize until recently when I took inventory of myself. It's like I was afraid of what I would find or what I wouldn't find if I ever actually took stock of my good and my bad. And it turns out I was only scaring myself. There was way more good than bad. It was all like underneath. So all of this is going to come together in some beautiful, poetic way at the end, because I absolutely signed up for the happily ever after fairy tale. If you have a Pisces rising in any way, shape, or form, that's rising at the 12th degree, the 24th degree, actually in the sign of Pisces or conjunct Neptune, you signed up for the Delulu happily ever after back to the crown, goodbye Earth storyline. Okay. I'm happy that I have documentation like this to look back on to create something that will inspire other people to believe, something that was created during the process, not going back and looking at pictures or somebody telling the story or testimonials. Like, that's cool and all, but me telling the story like this through my videos as it's going along and that becoming like my documentary, like that's on my, I don't need a bucket to have a list. Because I used to write a lot of bucket lists anticipating my death. I was just waiting to die, y'all. It was really bad. But later on, when I got a little bit more positive, I was like, I don't need a bucket to have a list. I can have a list of things I want to do while I'm alive and kick it. I shouldn't just rush to do it because it's the end. That's not cute. So I wanted to make a documentary. I did not know what I wanted it to be about. I just felt like I wanted to share something that was inspirational. That was always the thing. I wanted to write a book about God. Like, God is cool. Like, that was the idea. Like, God is still cool. Because that was like the first thing I remembered at the beginning of my thing. Like, hold on, I forgot how cool God is. You'd be like, hey, give me a sign. And then, yo, 11, 11, I see you playing. Like, that really makes a difference when you're down here in this game trying to focus. So I wanted to make an album, at least one album. When I saw Alanis Morissette and Lauryn Hill, there was something about that for me, and I can't explain it. Although I'm in a situation where it's a duo and everything, I've already written and completely like done my personal album. And I get shit all the time from other people who listen to my music or anything. Like, why would you quit after one album? There's something about that iconic one. And I said everything I needed to say on this one. I never would have imagined that, but the full spectrum of everything that I've encompassed in this life thus far was in that. Anything I make going forward will be gospel of some sort, because that's the life I'm living now. It's not all of that darkness. It's, wow, thank you. Oh my God, help. Hey, God. Like, it's a variety of that spectrum going on there. So I don't know. But you don't need a bucket to make a list of what you want to do. Because this is still working me towards that as well. Peace beyond understanding. Dang, y'all. I probably would have added a bunch of stuff on here that didn't matter if I was just by myself. Like, my skin got to look good. Like, no, baby, I don't care about none of that. Because one day I'm gonna look like, what's that, SpongeBob grandmama? We all gonna shrivel up one day and just die, and that's okay, because when the body shrivels, it's like a banana. Like, the banana's good for a while, but when it's time to go, it's time to go. But then you just like turn into spores and then come back as another banana. Like, it never ends if you don't want it to. Everybody's scared of death, but baby, you were on that side longer than you were in this game. Peace beyond understanding. So consistently knowing I am following my inner Jiminy Cricket. Guilt and shame have been keeping me on this planet for thousands of years. Even after I take the L again, in some way, shape, or form, if I go out not regretting how I took that L, and I'm referring to like witch hunts, because I mean, wouldn't that be crazy if I was the first witch that got burned thousands of years ago, just singularly by myself? That's how much of a problem it was. I started fucking up their crops, whatever. I did that shit. I know I did it. I don't think I was quiet about it either. I'm not quiet about it now. Wouldn't it be crazy if that was the ripple 1,000 years, or it's more than 1,000 years? It's like a lot. If modern day witch hunts came back around, because I'd still be in that ripple. I guess if my power started doing what it was doing before, that was possible. It would be possible. But the amount of strength you have is like Ernesto de la Cruz in Coco. It's based upon the number of people that know your name. So imagine the person who's carrying Jesus' energy. As soon as they step into a place where people recognize them, they'll go. Example, Keanu Reeves has Yeshua in first. He's carrying a piece of that energy with him. Who does not know Keanu Reeves? It's because all the name and the energy, all the energy put into the name allows him to like spawn as much as possible, but also to always rise to that position of fame. Your spiritual gifts work the same way. The more people that know you or pour energy into you, and it's sort of kind of like a form of worship, the more your gifts work, or that you sway things like your hives, right? Mine's is working at this function right now at 70,000 people. It wasn't the strong at first. What would happen if that 70,000 turned into like 7.2 million? Ah, 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 ah. I used to say all the time when people would call me and ask me what I'm doing, I'd be like trying to take over the world. Like when I first saw that on Peaky in the Brain, I was like, that's it. So every time somebody would like write me a message like, hey, what you up to? Just trying to take over the world. But it turns out, as my worst selves, that's what I got in trouble for. I was trying to take over the world. And what does that mean, right? It means getting into a position of power where you have your hand in everything and you make people move. Sort of like Cleopatra. That is a good example of somebody who got into a position to try to take over the world. Now, it's just the world where you're at, but imagine if that whole love triangle business didn't happen, right? It wouldn't have just been those areas. Conquest happens. When you were trying to take over the world, it becomes a form of like power and greed, which is what my maniacal laugh was. I have no desire for that. Which leads back to this full circle moment when I am just understanding why it was important for me to sit here at another level spiritually, not just my human self. Why, what is my level of success? And what is my enough? Because it is easy to say, what can I do next? Ambition could become a drug too. If I put my mind and all my energy into my work and pull it back from solving other people's problems or being in chaos and drama and stuff, I'm going to become a machine. And I need to make sure that my energy is pointed towards the right things and I'm remembering this life, this mission. I just signed up for the lover special personally. That's what I wanted for my storyline. A happily ever after with a lover and a family, and we just do our thing and have our place, right? But you have a mission from God. You have the debt you have to pay back. And then you have distortions. Distortions are like the little hiccups that are thrown in there by the team that makes like difficult things happen. These are all contained in your chart. These are all the layers that are combined into a life. Just know that you did come up with the main blueprint. Everything else was just factored in like a residual math test. Like, you didn't finish this last time. You didn't do A, B, C, and D, but that'll get piled on top of your happily ever after. Love at first sight, second chance romance storyline that's going on. You have a main storyline and it is that rising. Everything else is just an additive. So thanks. Turning this into a video helped me step outside of my ego a little bit more in order to see the soul mission. Clearly, success should not be based upon what you are financially getting. It should be like your soul points, because that's the only thing you get to take with you when you go anyway. I probably would have wrote generational wealth and all that stuff. No, I hope I pass down healed genes, because epigenetics is literally the science that shows All the trauma and pain in your DNA goes down to everybody below you. When you heal, you change the configurations of your DNA and all the people connected to that DNA. If I am able to reach this success within myself and to pass that down to my children so that they are able to start building their wealth, that's their thing. If I can do it, hey, whatever. But that's not going to be the definition for my success. I believe wealth is deeper than just the finances. I want something that goes on. So even if my family line starts over again one day, they have tools and they have the energy and the DNA structure to build every lifetime. So generational wealth for me is every person after me is born with the gene that will help them turn anything into gold. All right. Thanks, guys. I hope y'all enjoy doing some shadow work stuff with me.